seem to be somebody that a certain type of audience can identify with very strongly and very readily. Now, I don't know how to put this charitably, but I mean, what's known as perhaps, you know, the Long Mac Brigade,
yes,
or whatever.
I think that was true initially. I think that was true in perhaps 1983, but it has expanded, and other elements of society, if you like, do listen and like the Smiths. So it really isn't as rigid as it once was. It's really quite a broad thing now. But initially, yes, I felt that the following was a very overtly serious and private crew of people.
Do you feel about your audience? I mean, do you feel some great bond?
Yes, I do. I feel a tremendous bond, a great bond with them. And obviously playing live is the time when one comes face to face, and it's a very touching thing, very touching thing. No, I don't like touring. Performing on a stage is quite different. That is quite separate, and that's really quite a priceless thing.
What do you feel like when you're performing on stage?
Don't
you have that self-consciousness then?
No, I just have self-consciousness when I come off stage. But when I'm on stage, I don't. Something happens to me, and I don't really feel self-conscious at all. It seems a very natural thing to be there and to sing and to.
Be adored?
Well, no, I'd never say that. I don't really feel that's why I'm there. But it is really like communication. It's reaching out to people and having them reach to you and so on. But I don't like the process of touring, of being, you know, shuttled about and thrown about and having to find food and scavenge and things like that. Especially hotels don't really cater for people who don't eat animals. And so that's always a very big problem. So, that aspect of it I really hate. And obviously one has to be really early and you have to travel dramatic distances, and by the time you get to the venue you just look old and horrible and your voice is gone. But nonetheless, the spiritual thing of being on a stage and seeing people and so on is quite uplifting.
The state of the Smiths at the moment?
The state of the Smiths, in what sense? What, as individuals or
well, no, as a collective, really, I suppose. I mean, is it you and the band? There appears to be
no, it isn't.
A distinct difference.
No, it isn't. I think things have always been the same, really, in the sense that I have quite largely always done interviews. And for some reason, I was always the person who was pictured in magazines, etc. I think that happens quite a lot, though, that the person who sings is the person who is photographed and so on. So, no, it's really as it ever was, which is a very collective thing, and a very strong collective thing. It has to be that way, otherwise I don't really believe the records would be quite so solid and quite so compact.
Doesn't it make any difference, though, that they don't necessarily share your, how would you put it, notions of spiritual or sexual or whatever purity?
What does it make a difference?
Doesn't it compromise? I mean, all right, to put it baldly, I mean, if you as the figurehead of the group are in interviews talking about anything from vegetarianism to celibacy to anti-drugs or whatever, and the rest of the group don't appear to subscribe to that view, well, that's fine, but doesn't it make you look a bit of a hypocrite?
Well, not really, because quite generally people ask me my personal viewpoint, and I really have to answer that, obviously in a personal way, and I want to. They are all vegetarian, but I've never felt hypocritical in the least. I've never felt that I've given an answer that will simply make everybody happy. I've always given answers that are absolutely truthful and are absolutely mine. I don't feel that I speak for, I must condense my viewpoint into one that will just keep everybody quite contented.
Are you really chummy with the rest of the group? I mean, do you hang around together outside of work, or do you have other friends that you socialise with?
The Smiths never socialise at all. We're very quite quiet people in the sense that we're generally in our homes every night. So I don't socialise with anybody, really. So we don't get together every night.
You must have friends.
Well, I have one or two that I see occasionally, perhaps once a week. But I don't run around in a pack or anything like that.
Since his songwriting partner Johnny Marr left the Smiths, Morrissey has decided to pursue a solo career. He won't be entirely alone, however. Smiths producer Stephen Street will be collaborating with him. As for Johnny Marr, rumour has it that he's enlisting with the Pretenders.